Hey, JC here for retirecheapjc. What am I going to talk about today? You know, I can do more about, I found a cheap place to eat. I found a cheap place to live. But you all probably already realize, based on my videos, other people's videos, and experiences of people already living in places like Thailand, that it's a cheap place to live. So I'm not doing as many of those. Now, one of the reasons is because my membership takes a lot of my time and effort. I give them a lot of focus and energy. They see a lot of things you all don't see. My interactions with Thai people on a weekly basis, really important details, all that stuff. But something that I've always reserved for my members that I want to talk to you about today is I get asked a question by YouTubers and my members. It's like, okay, I made the decision. Because my member site's broken up in information on deciding, planning, preparing, and then settling in. Because those are the 4 steps I think it takes to do this. So that whole thing about, okay, the planning and the settling in. How do I do that? I made the decision I want to come live in Thailand or another country for that matter. It doesn't have to be Thailand. And I made a plan. Okay, now I need to prepare. Well, part of the planning, preparation, and settling in is finding a place that you want to live. Now, when I say want to live, it's got to meet certain criteria. Now, when I moved to Thailand, I was going to leave the United States and I was going to move to Brazil or to Thailand or to Southeast Asia. And I had certain criteria that had to be met. I had rules that I had to meet for a place that was going to be my home. And so the things that I had on my list, and your list might be a lot different, my list was it had to be a good value for the money. I had to benefit by doing it financially because I saw writing on the wall a long, long time ago that before the baby boomers even started to retire, knowing that it's going to be a challenge for many people, including myself, when it came to retirement. And I saw the economy and the country deteriorating. I said, it's time to get out. But the money had to be, it was a big issue because I've always said, forget about how much money you make. It's really in relation to how much money you're spending. If you're spending less, then of course you can earn less. So that was always my criteria. So anyway, so it had to be a good value for the money. The people had to be friendly. I don't want to live around someplace where people are grumpy and angry. That's where I'm leaving, right? So they had to be friendly people as well. That was the second thing on the list. The third thing on the list was the food. I had to enjoy eating. Eating's a big pleasure for me, so I have to enjoy the cuisine of where I live. And there's a couple things about the Philippines. I don't live there because they don't meet that criteria, that list of rules or evidence procedure that I need to see to make it feel like it's my home. I hope that makes sense to you. So anyway, so what you need to do, first of all, there's certain steps. Because I see people burning their bridges and coming over and not ever having been here, and based on videos at YouTube or what people say, or maybe their friends or relatives are living here, and so they make the leap. Now, can you do that? Absolutely. But it's going to take a lot of flexibility because you're not going to be prepared for what you're in for, and even if you watch the videos that I produce, it isn't going to help. It's going to help, but it's not going to be the end-all, be-all. So what you need to do, in my opinion, is first you need a budget. You need to know how much money you're going to be able to spend, not based on what it costs over here or anything like that. You need to say, on a monthly basis, how much money can I spend on a budget? And the budget's going to include housing, it's going to be your utilities, it's going to be food and transportation. These are really important. Now, what you ideally want is to have some money left over to pay an insurance policy, which are not that expensive in Thailand, and pay out of the pocket for anything under $1,000 if you get injured, because for $1,000 you can get a lot of medical work over here. So anyway, So you need that budget. First of all, it's really important. How much money can you spend? Then what you do is you're going to come over, you're going to do some research, you're going to do your due diligence, and it's going to be by watching my videos and doing research, maybe other people's videos, maybe websites, whatever. And you're going to say, okay, with this budget, first of all, would I be happy seeing JC's videos and saying, okay, this meal costs 70 baht, or this meal costs 100 baht, or this meal costs 35 baht? Is that some place, not just something to eat, but some place that I feel comfortable eating? Because you can eat real cheap in Thailand if you had to. But the quality of the meat, the amount of vegetables and stuff is going to be proportional to and the amount of vegetables and meat on the plate is going to be proportional to how much you're paying for that meal. You get more rice and less vegetables and lower quality meat, the cheaper the price goes. It just makes sense, right? And the ambiance too. As the ambiance changes, all these things start to change and move up in quality, quantity, and everything else. So does the price. And so you got to see where you fit in with that to make sense for you, that you feel, okay, I could eat this way every day. Because remember, you can splurge every once in a while. You need to treat yourself. You got to do that anyway in life just to be completely happy and fulfilled. So that's a given. So you got to see, okay, that's what I need to do. I need to look at, am I going to be able to eat this way? Then look at some of the costs of housing. You can either go on websites. Now remember, if you go on a website and you see something being advertised, same with a sign as you're traveling around, you see a sign in English, know that it's at least 30% more expensive than if what Thais were going to be, if it was being marketed to a Thai person. I've always said, nobody sees me when I'm negotiating anything. They see a Thai person. They make the initial contact. They get the prices, everything. Later, I show up. And if they change the price and they see me, I don't want to be with them anyway. I don't want them to be my landlord or something. Heck no. So anyway, you need to, now some people are on category 3 budget, $1,000 and up on a monthly budget. For you, you can peruse English-speaking websites or marketing towards foreigners. It's not going to be an issue for you because you got that extra money. You don't have to do the work. You're just paying for the work to be done or lack of being done because you're paying more, so it skips that process of that due diligence, having a Thai person go do this investigation for you. And so you could do websites and stuff like that. Or even websites that have classified ads and things like that. But anyway, so you want to see where you can live. Is it going to be a studio apartment? Would you feel comfortable? Remember, studio apartments are somewhere between 30 and 40 square meters. So you got to draw that out in a room and say, could I live in something like this? Now for me, I can live in some place like that if I have a view. If I had no view and live in a place like that, that would be tough for me, but because the view makes me feel like there's more space, but that's just me. So anyway, you need to say, okay, how much would my rent be? And on my retirecheapjc site, there's a budget calculator. You can plug in how much you have in US dollars on a monthly basis, and then it'll break down in percentages, normal percentages for normal people. If you're not normal, it won't work. But for normal people, how much you should allot for housing and for food and things like that. So go on there and check that out, and then compare it with these videos and these prices on websites and stuff and say, okay, here's a $300 a month place to live, and say, could I live in there? And make these decisions before you ever get over here. And if you say, yes, 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 I can do this, and this is where it's going to be, okay, then you need to come make a trip over. An exploratory trip, not a trip with your one bag and everything else has been divested. I don't recommend that. People do it. I have members have done it, and it's worked out great for them so far. Okay. But what I really recommend is you come over and you take a trip for at least a month, if you can do it for 2 months. And based on my videos or wherever else you're getting your information from, pick out some places you think might be conducive to you. I've done videos all over. You can choose the beach, or you can choose the north where it's more mountainous. And you could choose a city. You could choose a more rural area. All those things, and say, okay, let me narrow this down to, say, 4 cities. In Thailand, it could be Kanchanaburi, it could be Suphanburi, it could be, Chaam, Hue An, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Lampang. Oh, there's just so many. Some places in Isan. And narrow it down to about 4 and get your butt over here. Get a deal on a flight, get your butt over here. Don't drag around a lot of luggage. You need to be flexible, you need to be mobile. And so when you get over here, go settle into one of those places. Now, you can't rent short term for say a week and get a discount where you would get the same price as you would if you're renting long-term, say a 6-month contract or a 1-year contract. That's not going to help. That won't work. If you're wondering why I'm always drinking, it's not because I want to make you feel bad because I'm stopping what I'm saying. My mouth gets very dry. As a normal person, when I'm not doing these videos, I don't talk very much. So, Adi Cup? Sabay di mai? Wani kai di mai? No, my niap mai? Niap. Ani raka tarai. Tarai cup? Yisip. All right. Kun hai pom. Cup kun cup. Pom. Any videos สำหรับ YouTube? รู้จัก YouTube ไหม? So, anyway, the reason why you see me always drinking coffee or something, usually I'm doing these videos in the afternoon, and it's a coffee time anyway. I have 2 a day. But it's usually because my mouth gets very dry by talking so much, because normally normally in my life I don't talk very much. But anyway, so you come over and you're not going to get that discount, deep discount like you would if you had a contract. But what you'll do is you'll get a place for 1 week or for a day, because you might scout around and find a better deal for, maybe you don't like the place, or maybe it's in a bad location, and so you can find another place. But your real goal of being in some place for 1 month or for 1 week is you need to scout around and say, okay, here's my budget. What can I find in this price range where I could live on that budget? And then that's the cost of things. Comparable rooms and comparable places change too, depending on the location of where you're at. So that will change as well. And I'm going to actually teach somebody something. Oh well. The kid just crushed a plastic bottle under his feet and just left it there. I was going to show him, I was going to throw it away, just to be a great example, but it blew away already. So anyway, you're going to find that place that fits within your budget, and then say, okay, here's my budget. Say it's $300 a month or $500 a month, and you can go check out the place, and you can go, could I live here long term? And then you say, okay, I've got the housing thing settled in. I've got it figured out. This is the kind of place I could live for my budget, and it'll work. If not, you're going to have to go back and say, okay, either I can't do this or I need a better budget or whatever, and adjust the figures. And so you need to do the same thing with food. Where would you be eating on a regular basis? Would you be able to drink coffee every day or not? What would your lifestyle be with that budget? And live the lifestyle that you would be living if you were actually on that budget. And so you can wave, say hello. 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 Anyway, so you want to live the lifestyle. That's basically the bottom line. Live the lifestyle of your budget over here in different cities. The reason I say, like 2 cities or 4 cities is you're going to get to some place and you're going to go, this feels like home. I like it here. And it can be a number of reasons. And it might not just be the location. It might be the people. People in different areas of Thailand are either friendly or more friendly or less friendly. The costs change. By the sea or in the mountains. These kinds of things are really important. And you settle in with a life, the same life you would have long term. And this is what my life would be like every day. And I've always said you're going to need a purpose in life. You need a reason to wake up every day. Now, if you're doing this, that's your purpose. So you're going to feel motivated every day to do it. Once you get over here and that's a done deal, then what are you going to do every day? Are you going to sit with your buddies? Are they all going to be foreigners? Are they going to be Thai people? Are you going to get a hobby? I've always said it's a perfect time to develop a new purpose in life, which could be, it could be something you've always wanted to do, write, do photography, paint. I know people that have done things, really great things over here that they've never done any time in their life, but now that they've had time, they were able to do them. And so you need to really go inside and be very introspective about, would you be happy long-term doing this? Would you be content? Would you be fulfilled? And that's the way to make this happen. People say, how much does it cost? How much do I need to live? I can never answer that question. The reason why is my rules and values and beliefs are different than somebody else's. And so for me to be able to say, oh, this is a great place, you could live for this amount of money, ain't gonna happen. And I won't even attempt that, because then you'll blame your unhappiness on me. Yeah, you said. I didn't say anything. I said, you need to check this out on your own. And it's an adventure. Look at it as an adventure. If all of a sudden you're so inflexible to doing this as a burden and a chore, and it's not something that's exciting to you, don't do it. If you're coming over here just for the money, don't do it. Money can only be one part of the equation. An equation is not one figure. It's a series of figures that are put together to create a new outcome. So remember that. So that's how you go about trying to find a place to live, whether it's in Thailand, Latin America, Southeast Asia, some other Southeast Asian countries, or wherever. I hope this has been helpful for you. These kinds of videos to me are more important than showing you how cheap it is to live here, because we all know at this point, I've been doing this for 4 years, and other people now are following behind me doing the same thing, showing how cheap it is. So that's important because of stress. If you can't meet if there's more month at the end of the money, that's stress. But stress is also wanting life to be other than it is. Wanting anything to be any other way than the way it's presenting itself to you will cause you emotional stress. So you need to change the environment around you to be more conducive to the way you want it to be, or you need to look inside yourself and develop a set of rules and beliefs that allow you to become more flexible in the environment that you're in. Make sense? I hope so. And I hope all these videos have been helpful. I'm thinking about maybe even taking some funding through a separate funding site that we can raise some money so I can hire somebody so I can get more videos for YouTube, YouTube viewers. I feel bad that I'm not putting up as many YouTube videos as I used to, but my members are a great bunch of people that are help supporting all our donations and causes and infrastructure and everything. So I really feel obligated to take care of them. I want to give you all more on YouTube, but I need somebody to take some of the workload off of me. This is a hobby. It's not something I make money on. And, you know, when it hits, 14 hours a day doing it, I want it to still be fun and fulfilling, and I need somebody to help with that. So I'm thinking about taking some kind of a funding that the money would go towards that person that I could hire to help to do some of this stuff like editing the videos and things like that. But anyway, I hope more videos will be coming at you soon. We're on our way to Vietnam. You might be seeing these videos out of order, so if you're seeing this now, right after I post it, we're going to Vietnam. If you're seeing it later, check out the videos of Vietnam. I think they're going to be very interesting. And I'm going to do exactly what I just talked to you about. I'm going there with that same mentality and mindset to Vietnam, having never been there, and say, okay, what would this be like if somebody stepped into this environment and they needed to retire here? All right? So, again, remember, when it comes to where you're going to live in your retirement, those golden years, there's always an option. See you, JC, out.